We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Las Vegas Raiders. And off we go from Denver. A nice little gift there to start the ball game. EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the Las Vegas Raiders. And off we go from Denver. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air. There's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback.
Switch! Watch the twist! Watch the twist!
SOS, SOS, SOS. SOS, SOS, SOS.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up!
They run for the first time with Javonte Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down.
There is something to a game plan when trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11.
Yeah. 79 Broncos. Mike 37. And we're going 37's the Mike. Mike 37. I'm coming.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. They'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fielded just inside the 20. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Throwing it's McDonald. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Now a dump off here complete. And he'll be down at the 46. Well, they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2.
Check. Lucky.
They go play action with McDonald. Got a man. It's Darren Waller. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 19.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Out of the gun, McDonald. And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Darren Waller, his his second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt, they're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Carlson now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe they're returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And a first hookup with his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Check.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Williams going to get it again on second down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Looking to throw. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, twist.
2nd and 1. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
On first down, Williams. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
He's checking, he's checking, he's checking. Crash, crash. Jim.
They'll set up to throw. On the screen, this is Edmonds. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. They'll look to throw here. And he's got it. And the Broncos are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick 6 just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this foot. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Raiders pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues.
54, Mike, 54. Check, check, watch 54, watch 54. I'm here all day.
Following the fumble recovery, McDonald buying time to his left. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
So this game, Charles, you know, we talked about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
From the gun, it's McDonald. He's going to try and go deep again. And got his man complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he is out of bounds here on the return. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Second and 10.
It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
They'll hand it off now. Williams. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. The Broncos on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. He'll look to throw. Flush to him, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Max Crosby drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And they're going to be set up with excellent field position to start the drive as that gets out of bounds inside the 45-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
They'll run here with Raymond Calais. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he'll get 3 down at the 34-yard line. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Boom! Yeah, baby!
Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man. That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'll guarantee you it started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Flushed out right. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Here's Calais. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Raymond Calais, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it is 28-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is
and a loose football. And the Raiders pick it up. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
It was Jason Pierre-Paul who was able to get him down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll run. Calais. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. On the ground, it's Calais. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Raymond Calais in the final seconds of the first half. And the Raiders would extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. Taken at the goal line. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
That
by the time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Play action. It's McDonald. And he will find his man Ruggs. And out across midfield down to the 45. So 1st and 10. And if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into their second half blowout material. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. He'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on third down. Here's McDonald off of the play fake. Able to find Walter. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They run with Calais. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Again, it's Calais. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spouting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. A nice run leaves them just inches from a first. Could they possibly be tempted to try this on 4th and about a foot?
Ready? 19, 18. Don't get nervous. On the ball.
Going with their tight end on 4. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. They only needed about 4 or 5 inches there, relied on the big guys up front, and got it done.
Yeah, this is the time to just go ahead and hit it straight ahead. No juking, right? No movement in the backfield. Take the ball and go. As I heard a coach tell a player a long time ago, save your dancing for the club, son. Just get up into that line of scrimmage.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll hand it to Drake here on the option. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Hey, Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Wild Bill.
Mike, 53. 53. Mike. You want this?
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. There wasn't the line that jumped that time, the second level.
No, that's a great observation because most of the time it's those guys up front so eager to get off on the snap. They do it, but in this case, you're exactly right. Second level.
And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Raymond Calais, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the Raiders take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. And it's no good. Oh, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Double tight. Double tight. Hey, smash. Go four down. And we're going 37's to Mike. Mike 37.
What we got? What we got? What we got?
Back to throw here. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 19.
Let's go now. Bronco 80. Hey, check. Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Hurt. I got him, man. I got him. He's mine. And we're going curve 19. Bandit.
Back to throw.
Get in the weight room.
It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he didn't have a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. And this ball is going to be touchdown just shy of midfield. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We got 4.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Here's a handoff out of the gun. 86 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point in the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he is out of bounds here on the return. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now back to throw. This one to Bourne out on the left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing left side, he's got Gronk, complete. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
7 yards, the pickup there.
70 Lions. Target.
They'll look to throw again.
That's out to the flat for Edmonds.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And just like that, it's 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
You think you gonna get this? You think you gonna get this? And we're going 37's to Mike. Mike 37. Let's go.
Gotta try it here. He's back to throw.
This will be caught. Judy.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Check. Crunch.
Now a play fake here on first down.
And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Right there. Hurt. Rig alert. Go trap. Safe. Kill.
Again, he'll drop to throw. They'll let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And the Raiders are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter.
Number 53. Mike 53. I got you, punk.
Mike 53. 53.
Now they try the right side here. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Second down. Here's an option right. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
Ridiculous.
So this one a victory.